Tucked into a dense forest lived a girl and her fox, and she had a dream to become the best baker in Minecraft. So join me and my foxy friend Millie as we set out to build the coziest farm and learn every recipe that we can. As much as I want to start learning how to bake immediately, we can't actually do much until we have some tools and the basics. Also, I have absolutely no clue where Millie is. I did do a little bit of looking, but I just can't find her. As always, I'm sure she'll turn up eventually though. She's probably just fallen asleep somewhere. Alright, we have got some wood. Let's make ourselves... Oh, wait, there's Millie. What is that in your mouth? Recipes? Oh my goodness. Okay, we are gonna have to try every single one of these out. Millie, I have no idea where you found this, but absolutely great find. And now we can get back to work on getting all of our resources. So let's get ourselves a wooden pickaxe and then let's go on the hunt for some stone. That is diorite. There's stone up there though. Okay, stone tools acquired and we are looking for sheep. But there is a lovely chicken here that it looks like Millie is gonna take care of. So I'm just gonna follow this way and hope that we run into more animals. Did I see legs? Oh, is that a sheep or a cow? Oh, it's multiple sheep. Okay, let's grab this guy. I think that's all of the sheep. Oh, there's another one here. But I might also take the cows because I think I'm gonna need a little bit more food than just 5 pieces of mutton. Another sheep. Okay, never mind. Well, maybe we will need more than 6 pieces of mutton. Let's grab these couple cows. Alright, perfect. And since our wool is different colors, we're gonna need a few flowers to just dye it. And once our food is finished and the sun goes down, we can head out for some more materials. Millie is just pushing me around right now. The first thing I needed to take care of was iron and coal for both tools and armor. Then I made a slight detour to grab some food and seeds. I then grabbed some dye, wool, oak, spruce, dark oak, and sand for glass. I then headed back underground for moss and to bone meal some azalea bushes for their leaves. When I was a little girl, I had this idea in my head that the best place to live would be over a cafe or a bakery, so I was really thinking of channeling that into this build for this bakery. My plan here is that the ground floor is going to be the bakery and have the kitchens and a little cafe area, and then I'm going to build my actual home on the second floor, just like the dream that little me had. Alright, with our circle made, let's mark out this little bit out the side here, so we'll just do 1 right here, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 more, perhaps. I might move this out 1 more, but we'll see. So for the frame, we're just going to make some posts that go up by 10, or at least leave that post up by 10, and then we're going to fill in the gaps with some of this. So let's do another post right here. We'll just mark these out for now instead of building them all the way up, because we can do that after we've got the whole circle thing going on. Then for the second row of this frame, we're going to go up 3, but technically just 2. Oh wait, that's only 1. What am I talking about right now? Is that 1 again? It is. Let me get rid of that piece and this piece, and then let's hop down here and just double check that what I've done there is correct. Is that 2 blocks? 1, 2. It is. It's just hard to tell with dark oak sometimes. And you know what? Before I get too far up, I should probably strip these woods as I go, because otherwise it's going to be difficult to do the top ones when we get to the top and we jump back down and forget about it and then have to build back up and do it all again. We are almost there. We just need to add in these extra pieces of wood on the top, and that should be the frame and the foundation finished. Perfect. Just in time for the sun to start going down. Let's head to bed. Oh, wait, what is that? It kind of looks like lilacs. Ooh, wild nettles. I mean, I don't think there's any wild nettle stew or soup. No, I mean, that would be cute, but we don't have the recipe. So we're going to plant that back in the ground and go to bed. If you didn't notice then, I did lose where I had put my bed for a second there. Good night. So I was actually really intentional about how I want to do this build, as always, and I kind of really want to show you my block palette because I think it's super cute. I went with a lot of warm colors for this one, and I think that's going to make this whole build so much more cozy. Then of course we have these little pieces of wool which are going to be for our awnings, but I didn't want to put them next to these because they don't technically go with it. And this looks much cuter on its own. But anyways, let's get to work on these walls. I do fear I may have made my life harder by doing the wooden frame first. Because I can't just build straight up. I kind of have to build in little sections. But also, that might not be a problem. I guess we'll see the further we get into this. But we're just going to go around and add in all of the gaps. Probably not here though. To be honest, let's cut out these pieces here and create some little windows. Then we just need to fill in the rest of these gaps with our cut diorite and normal polished diorite. Polished cut diorite and polished diorite. That is what I was trying to say. Did I just add them to the corners? No, I didn't. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. So since we have these gaps here, I am going to go in and add some of these walls and some of the palisades to just fill those in and add a little bit more add a little bit more dimension to the build. And also just some extra detail. Okay, what are we going to do around the windows here? That is a great question. Let's probably just leave the gap like that. And then hopefully when we fill it in with the glass, it doesn't look so strange. And as I suspected, this is going to be a little bit more inconvenient because we kind of have to build up to do all of these extra pieces. It would be good to probably have some scaffolding for this kind of thing, but unfortunately we do not. Millie? That was super helpful. Thank you so much for doing that. Oh, I just realized I'm gonna have to build up on the outside too so that we can add in these little wall pieces. Unless we can get it done like I just did. Is that gonna be possible? No. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Alright, that looks great. I always like leaving the little holes for the windows because it makes it really satisfying when I go back around and add in the glass. Anyways, sun is going down and it is... Oh wait, look at how the top of that mountain is like perfectly aligned in a hole at the top there. Anyways, sun is going down, gotta go to bed, we'll do the roof tomorrow. I feel like I've actually gotten a bit better at roofs. I spent a long time being really bad at them, kind of dreading doing roofs, but this isn't as bad as they used to be. Honestly, I think a lot of it came down to not being very good at placing stairs though, because it is pretty difficult to be like crouching and hanging off the edge of the block and placing them upside down or the normal way up and just causing a lot of problems for myself. But now that I've done that a million times, it's way less intimidating, and I wouldn't say I love doing roofs just yet, but I'm definitely not running from them anymore. And honestly, I think that's one of the best things you can do is to track your progress as you get better at things, because one day you might be in the middle of something and realize, hey, I'm actually not terrible at this anymore, and it'll feel really good. Anyways, let's get this roof finished. Just to add in some extra details, I'm gonna add in some dark oak slabs. Okay, cool. With that part done, let's do... Oh my gosh, Millie is so cute. Anyways, let's get to work on this little tiny piece of roof right here. So I'm just gonna go all the way along these bits like this. Then we're gonna go, I guess like this. Hang on, I think I've got it. There we go. Nope, that's still not right. There we go. That is what I was going for. So let's just do the same right here. Oh wait, this feels wrong. I think I'm gonna have to move this one back a bit. Then if we get ourselves up on top here, we can just do this, and then join them up in the middle. This still feels wrong though. Maybe I need to bring this one back as well. Let's try that. I feel like I need it to be joint up in the middle, right? Back to the first plan with this side. I think if we have it like this, it should join up in the middle with both of the triangles and it should look more normal. She says. Please say that's centered now. Ah, what is going on now? Oh, okay, this is what... No, wait, what? Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm going insane. What have I done wrong here? And now with the dark oak bit finally figured out, let's fill in this middle bit with the acacia wood. I actually really love the combination of acacia wood and dark oak because it reminds me of a Terry's chocolate orange. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a little round ball of chocolate that's segmented like an orange, and then you have to give it like a big smack on the table and it breaks apart into perfect segments. It's like a classic Christmas treat here in the UK. I have noticed them on the shelves all year round recently, which is really strange, but they always taste better at Christmas, and I'm actually not sure if they exist in America, so if you are American or, to be honest, anywhere else but the UK in the world, let me know if you have a Terry's chocolate orange in your life, or if you've had one, I should say. I feel like they are everywhere, but if they aren't, then they totally should be because they are absolutely delicious. They're orange flavored, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's chocolate with orange flavor. Orange flavored chocolate, you might say, if you were structuring your sentences normally, which apparently I'm not. Anyways, that is the roofs done. So today is detail day, and I'm gonna start by marking out the entrance here with some of these slabs. What? My gosh, what's wrong with me today? Spruce stairs, that's what these are. It's like you could hear my brain lagging for a second there. And then let's top this off with a couple spruce slabs and a slab. What am I talking about? Why do I keep saying that? Spruce trapdoors and a spruce slab. There we go. Goodness. So now that's done, let's add in our windows finally, and I'm gonna do a little checkerboard pattern with our white stained glass and some grey stained glass. Oh, nope, that is the wrong way. Perfect. Now let's do the same on the other side. And the same up in these big windows. And I can't wait for the sun to come up a little bit more because it's very dark over here at the moment. I may need to get a torch because it's kind of hard to see. For our next detail, I'm just going to add in an awning off the side here. Let's go up 3, I think. And then let's build up a little bit and add in our slabs. So I'm going to go for a little zigzaggy type design here because we are on the corner of a circle here, if you can call it a corner. But this should help it look more normal to have it at an angle. I hope, at least. And now our slabs are added, we can add our carpets. So with that one looking pretty cute, I'm gonna add another one over here, but a little bit smaller than this one. And since it's smaller, I'm gonna use a mix of slabs and stairs for this one. So we're looking pretty good so far, and you may call me crazy, but I still hold to that whole when in doubt, cover it in leaves philosophy. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I just feel like it's not an M build if it's not covered in leaves. And I feel like the leaves just make it feel a lot more cozy because it feels like it's been here for ages and everything's sort of like overgrown. And just like that, the build's gone from a 10 out of 10 to an 11 out of 10. But I do really quickly need to add in just these upside down stairs for this sort of bakery type area here. Let's fill in these parts here. Let's add in a little bit of detail right there. And then along the back here, we'll do 2 of these, 1 of them, and 1 of these. And the same on the side. Oh my gosh, it's getting dark quick. All right. Bakery is looking great, but we are about to go and head to bed over here in the field. Gosh, before anything scary gets me, please. So as I said earlier, the downstairs is going to be the bakery and the upstairs is where Millie and I are going to live. So let's see what kind of cute interior situation we can come up with. So I'm just going to place these blast furnaces and these walls, and then I'm going to add in some miscellaneous clutter to make it look a little bit more lived in. So I'm going to use some of these flower boxes and whatnot to make it look like there's just different containers lying around, and I found these really cute windowsill blocks from one of the mods, which are just perfect, but I'm not going to put any flowers in them. And obviously this is a bakery, so we're going to need a cake right there to show off to everyone walking by. Let's put in a couple more of these containers. I've got a barrel to place here, and then we'll just do some of this around the floor and some chests. I also have this big bag of flour that I've made, and I'm just going to place a bunch of hay bales out the front because I just feel like it fits the vibe. And with a couple tweaks, that is our outdoor part finished. Very, very cute. And you know, since we have those blast furnaces, it'd probably be a good idea to create some sort of chimney coming out of this part. Now to really finish off the outside of the bakery, I'm going to place a little table and a few chairs and do the same over under the other awning. Then let's place a nice welcome sign and get ourselves inside to decorate. Let's start by laying out all of our equipment. So we've got a stove, a caking station, and a brick oven. This is just a counter. And then I'm going to add in this little wall here to make it look like, ow, 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 ow. I forgot that that is a hot stove. So in this space here, I'm just going to do a drawer. Then I'm going to bring this out like this and join that up there. Actually, let me grab this piece right here and we'll move that over here so we can add in a trapdoor here for our entrance. And with that placed, I'm going to add in some of these pieces, which are wall displays, which I guess we could put our bread on later. And I just have these little sort of miscellaneous pieces. Ouch, I keep forgetting that that is hot. But I have these miscellaneous pieces to make it look a bit more bakery-y. This is some sort of like cake stand thing that definitely sells the vibe a little more. Then I also have this bread box, which I'm not really sure where to put actually. Maybe I can move the tray, or maybe I'll just put it over here. I think that works. Then let's fill in some of this space with some flowers, because you can't go wrong with flowers or leaves for that matter, but for today, just flowers in here. And then let's add some seating. Now let's take our carpet and do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, and let's place some flowers. So I'm going to do some of these flower boxes underneath the paintings that I placed earlier. And I'm going to do a couple of these big pots in these corners. This is how the outside is looking now with our extra tables and chairs, and I feel like it really has made a difference. Then inside I made a few tweaks, just moved a couple of the tables around and added some extra lighting, and I feel like it looks really, really cute. Then on the second floor I placed a little studio apartment for Millie and I, and this is what that looks like. We've obviously got a little lounge area, and then over here I have my chipped mod crafting tables hidden underneath all of these. I can still use them though, don't worry, and a normal crafting table, and these are also completely storage. Very cute. Then over here we have our little study type area, which looks out over this way, which is obviously a gorgeous view. We get a little bit of the mountain and the forest. Then of course over here we have our bedroom with a little pet bed for Millie. I did consider adding a canopy or something around here, but I feel like it would have been too much, and I think that this does a good enough job at separating the living room and the bedroom, especially for like a studio vibe. Also, speaking of Millie, she is not in her bed, so we're gonna have to go find her because the sun is going down and I want to know what she thinks of our new home. Millie, where are you? I thought that was her, but it's not. Where is she? Oh, she's just out the back here. All right, Mills, let's go around the front before anything scary gets us. What do you think? Oh, straight to her bed. Anyways, the sun has gone down, so let's head to bed. So we can't really do much baking at all until we have the ingredients, obviously. So the most common one that we're going to end up using is wheat. So let's get started on a wheat farm. And of course, you know I love eating bread in this game, so it's going to double as our food farm. And I do have to say that there is something just so satisfying about a field of golden wheat just swaying in the wind. I love it so much. But before we can even get to that part, we do have to actually build the farm. So let's finish off doing all of these fences and whatnot, and then we can get to the good stuff. And now I'm just going to run around and make sure that there is a spruce trapdoor on top of each of these posts. And with all that done, it's time to add some leaves to the farm, because apparently I cannot go 3 seconds without adding a leaf to a build. And I'm also going to add in some lighting. Okay, I think we're good to start tilling, but the sun is going down pretty quick, so this may run over into the night or even to tomorrow if some scary things start spawning. Although it does sound like there's a lot of scary things under the house, I think there's a tiny little cave that everything is sort of gathering in, so I'm hoping that means less things are spawning out here. But then maybe at night they come out of the caves into the open, so who knows. So I spend the rest of the day racing the sun to get the land tilled. Usually one of my more relaxing brain off type tasks, but the darkness really crept in fast this time. I was just out there frantically tilling soil like it was some kind of speedrun challenge, but honestly though, I do think that weird cave system under the bakery might have saved my life. Not in a dramatic way, but you know, in a fewer mobs spawning near me kind of way. But whatever it is, I will take it because by the time I got all of the land tilled and made it back inside, I didn't have a single scratch on me. Okay, the land is tilled. Let's get all of this wheat planted so we can head out for some more materials ASAP. Alright, wheat is all planted. Let's go grab some stuff. I headed out for more spruce before deciding my tools needed an upgrade. I mined around for coal, iron, and diamonds to upgrade my tools, picking up some glowberries along the way. Above ground, I crafted some of my iron into buckets for water and picked up sweet berries, strawberry seeds, oats, and sugar. Lastly, I picked up some gravel and dirt for coarse dirt. Most of our cooking stuff is coming from the Let's Do Bakery mod. To use the mod, we need a couple things. So I'm first going to turn these into planks, then I'm going to make ourselves some slabs, and I'm going to have to head down to our blast furnace to make some iron ingots. And what we're going to make here is a cooking pot. So let's put some coal and some raw iron into our blast furnace, and hopefully, because it's a blast furnace, it won't take as long. So we're literally just gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and we have our small cooking pot. So I did a little bit of research, and I'm pretty sure that you can actually make jam in the cooking pot, which really makes a lot of sense. So I've just made a couple jam jars, and we're gonna see what we can do with our glowberries, because we should be able to make some sort of glowberry jam, according to my research. So I think we just put the glowberries in here, we put the sugar in here, and this is not working. We just had it on the wrong thing. That's fine. And just like that, we have some glowberry jam. That is so adorable. I wonder if we can just place that. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. I can't wait to get to baking like actual things in here. So that's that part done in... Oh my gosh, is that the sun going down already? It is. Okay, that took me way too long to figure out. Oh my goodness. But it was a really good thing to figure out, and also a very cute thing to figure out. All right, good morning. The next piece of equipment we're gonna need is a mixing bowl. So I'm pretty sure if we turn this into some more planks, we're gonna need some more slabs, and we're gonna need a stick. So if we put the stick here, and then this in the middle, plus this, we get a mixing bowl or crafting bowl, but it will be for mixing ingredients. And I may need to get rid of the bread bin here because I do need to place our crafting bowl. So it turns out we need a few ingredients here. So I'm just gonna grab a few pieces of wheat like this. And now we've got to head out to find an egg and some milk. There is a cow there, so we can grab our milk. And now we just gotta keep our ears out for a chicken. And I'm not hearing anything around here, that's for sure. Where did that come from? Oh, up there, up there, up there, up there. You're gonna have to come with me because I need you to lay me an egg. Can you do that? That would have been so funny if it just immediately dropped an egg, but unfortunately it didn't. So you're gonna have to come with me. Okay, it's starting to get dark. Let's check on our chicken and hope that he has an egg for us. Or I guess she, if she's laying eggs, and she does, which is perfect. Let's get this in the mixing bowl and see what happens. So, oh, it works just like that, does it? Put the milk bucket in, we'll put our wheat in, and we'll also put in our sugar. Then I guess we just give it a little bit of a mix. Oh, you can actually see it like mixing around in there. Okay, that's fun. Why is it not mixing together? What have I done? Oh, also, I don't know if I even mentioned it, but I added this stack of towels to kind of look like a cash register, and I'm not sure if it works, but I think it does. Anyways, back to the mixing. I'm gonna have to Google this. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I think I may have overloaded it by putting multiple of each thing, so let's just do one and see if that works. You have got to be kidding me. Why is this not working? Okay, so I'm just going to leave that alone for now, but I am going to take this out and replace our counter with this stone brick stove because I'm concerned that these two stoves are different, and this one here is from the Farmer's Delight mod, so may not work with other stuff. Maybe I need to put the crafting bowl on top of one of these. I don't think this is the solution because I've watched many tutorials at this point trying to figure out what's wrong with the mod right now. And yeah, that wasn't the fix. Anyways, the sun is going down, so I'm just going to put my ingredients in this bowl and leave it there for now, and we'll figure out this situation later. I need to go let that chicken free too because I do feel a bit bad that it's in the tiniest little enclosure ever. Be free! All right, enjoy. Hopefully Millie doesn't get you. Sorry, that was really horrible. All right, good night. One of the things that the Let's Do Bakery mod adds are these really, really sweet little strawberries, which are used in a lot of different recipes. So today we're going to make a little patch for those. So first let's fill this outline in with dirt, and let's build up some cute arches just because. And with the water added, let's get this land tilled. We're going to need a little bit of lighting too, so let's do a little double lantern moment. And of course, let's plant all of our strawberry seeds. I love that some of them grow with like the blossoms and some of them are actually growing with the strawberries on. That is so cute. I moved the lanterns because they looked a little bit weird in the middle, but that is a job well done if I do say so myself. Literally the cutest little patch ever. I cannot get over this, but I have to because the sun's going down and the scary things are gonna spawn. And surprise, surprise, Millie is stuck in the couch. Oh, you gotta stop doing this. This is insane. Anyways, good night. So, these aren't necessarily modded berries, but we do need a patch for sweet berries and glow berries. So, those features in a couple of recipes, as we've already seen with the jam. So, yeah, that's what we're building today. I will also die on the hill that glow berries were one of the best things to happen to Minecraft. They almost made me forgive Mojang for the whole Moo Bloom thing. Almost. It didn't, but almost. They basically just combine my two favorite things. No, wait, three favorite things. Eating, leaves, and cute lighting. Let's just go up 1, 2, 3. Let's add in our fences. And then let's join those up with some campfires. That is our archway done. So let's hang our glow berries. Just like that. And then let's plant all of our sweet berries on top of the coarse dirt. Then after a meeting with my watering can, we have a fully grown berry and glowberry farm. And with that, I'm going to make my way back home to take a nap. And then we're going to head out for some more materials. I turned the farms over for more crops, specifically wheat. Then I set about gathering spruce, oak, acacia, and mangrove wood. I topped off my iron and coal before collecting diorite, granite, deep slate, stone, clay, moss, dirt, and sand for glass. I also filled some buckets with water, gathered oat seeds, and collected a few more hay bales. Alright, we are back. And lastly, we have our oats to plant, which is so funny because they're like super duper hard to find just out and about, but they are necessary for some of our recipes. And for this one, I am going to fill in the bottom here with some planks. It doesn't really have to be planks, it could be the dirt, but I have a bunch of planks, so why not? Mostly because I'm going to throw some sugar in here too, because we are going to need some of that also. So let's place down some sand just like this in the center, and then we're good to cover up this whole thing in dirt. And finally, before we plant our oat and our sugarcane, we need to create our little archway thing. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to go and make some more fences because I, for some reason, thought that we were only going up by 2. And I was wrong. All right, lantern time, and then we can get to planting. So obviously I'm gonna put the sugarcane here in the middle, and all the way around the outside we're gonna do the oat seeds. And since we got a bit of the day left, I thought it would be cute to add in a little bit of greenery around the place. So let's add in some leaves because again, I cannot go one build without covering it in leaves. It just makes everything look so much cuter. And with all of our oats grown in, thanks to our trusty watering can, our farms are finished. And also, don't the leaves just add so much extra? Okay, maybe not so much extra, but like a little bit extra, right? Right? Please validate my leaf placing problem. So unfortunately, there is a point in every video where I just become so encumbered with so much nonsense that I need a place to keep it, and what better place to keep all of our junk than in a cutesy little windmill. So let's get going on this foundation and frame and see what we can come up with. I don't plan on making this super big, so we should have enough time to get the whole base structure done today, and then we can do the sails and the details and whatnot tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So let's start by just going up 1, 2, and then an oak on the top. Ouch. 1, 2. And then an oak on the top. Let's try that again. There we go. That's what I was trying to do that time when I just broke my ankles. Oh, ouch. Did it again. So I'm going to get started on the walls down here, and I'm pretty much just going to use cobblestone for the whole thing, except in some of these gaps I'm going to use some cobblestone walls just so there's a little bit more dimension happening. And along the top of all of this I'm going to use some stairs for the same reason that I'm using the walls. Extra dimension. And then to add some extra detail to these parts, I'm going to use some barrels. So now I'm going to run around and get started on the roof, adding in all of these trapdoors just like this. And the same on the other side. Then we just have the easy task of running along with our oak stairs, not oak stairs, spruce stairs, and creating a little roof here. Now let's get to work building up these extra bits for the actual windmill part. So we're just going to do the same oak and spruce mixture that we've been doing. Then let's make sure all of this is stripped, and we'll place our eroded diorite to fill in all of these gaps. And actually, let's take out this piece here and create some windows. The eroded diorite is part of the chipped mod, which is, if you didn't know, one of my favorite mods because it's so convenient. And I'm just realizing this looks a lot like wool, and wool is kind of annoying to get because obviously you have to find a bunch of sheep or create like a sheep farm and blah, 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 blah. So this could be a good alternative because it looks pretty close. As long as you want white wool, of course. I'm not sure that eroded diorite comes in other colors. I thought this part of the roof was going to look a little bit strange, but it doesn't at all. And I am super glad. And that sun is going down. So let's go hang out in our bedroom and wait for the morning. It's also a good opportunity to get our stuff together for tomorrow too, because we're going to do the details. And oh my gosh, how sweet is that? Cutest thing ever. Okay, we have our lovely little base for our windmill now, and it's time to get in and add those details. Most importantly, the sail, because I'm not sure it actually counts as a windmill unless it has a sail. It's probably just like a weird tower otherwise, but no need to fear, we are adding a sail. Look at that thing. What is the next thing? Oh, I wanted to add in some extra pieces of grass, and I know this sounds really silly, but replace some of the other pieces of grass with some flowers. Although I did admittedly go a little bit too crazy with the shears picking up grass, but it's absolutely fine. It's not like it's the end of the world. All right, with some bone mealed ferns, I think we're looking really, really adorable. Then to make it extra cute, we've added some lanterns, and I'm gonna add in some cute little flower boxes on the front here. And to be honest, I'm gonna add some of those on every side. And in true me fashion, I am gonna have to hop up here onto the roof and absolutely cover it in leaves. And we are looking good. Now the tower here is just very much for show, but down here I added in a bunch of chests and barrels and whatnot to make it look like a windmill, but also have a bunch of extra storage for me. Definitely one of my more chaotic storage situations, but I think it fits the vibe perfectly, and this thing looks great. So with that being said, we can very clearly see the moon coming up, so let's head to bed. So before we start on our next project, I do really want to try this mixing bowl out again. Hopefully it works this time. Oh! Okay, wait, what? It did it! Okay, we have some cake dough. I have no idea what the problem was earlier, but it's fixed now, so let's not even talk about it. So now we know that that's working, milk and eggs are gonna become kind of a big deal to me, as they are both key ingredients in sweet dough, and cake dough. So we're breaking ground on our latest and greatest construction project, a barn. And as always, we're getting the frame and the foundation done, and then we'll see what else we can get done by the end of the day. And if not, it will just run in tomorrow and we'll be absolutely fine, because I've planned for it to take longer than I expected to. I was also thinking that it's probably fine to just keep chickens and cows in the same barn, right? I don't see any big issues with that. It should be fine. I mean, unless Millie gets in there, but in general, I think it'll be fine. I mean, like, the cows aren't a problem for Millie, but the chickens, well, Millie is a problem for the chickens. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, with those all marked out, let's just join these up. Oh, actually, do I want to go up one more and join them up, or do I want to join them up just like this? I think what I'm going to do is join them all up like that, and then I can go over the top of them, and all of the blocks on top will be facing the right way, if that makes sense, like this. See what I mean? So I'll get rid of this row here, and then all of these will be facing upwards. Ouch! Oh, looks like we have our first cow. a little bit eager to get into this barn, I'd say. Okay, sweet. That looks really good. Now let's just join these up with some fences. And actually, our final step for the frame is to just join up these side pieces. And actually, since we have a little bit of time, I'm going to take out these top pieces here and replace them with barrels, just for extra details. I also cannot believe this cow, just really eager to get in here. Let's head to bed and then we can build up the walls tomorrow. What am I talking about? And it is wall time. So barn walls tend to be pretty easy because they are much simpler than our house walls. They're just big. Well, actually, no, this barn isn't even that big, so it should be fine. So to build up these walls, I'm using these rounded diorite bricks and they are part of the chipped mod. Again, absolutely love this mod with my whole heart because it makes my life so much easier. So now with both walls up, we're going to add some extra details with some fences and some stairs. So let's add some stairs. I mean fences all the way around the edge. Actually, should I put it in this spot instead? Maybe. I'm just worried that there is too close to here. I think I'm going to move them. Then we can add in some spruce stairs and then we can do some checkered trapdoors around the front like this. Now let's go do the same on the other side. Okay, the walls of the barn are done and we do have a little bit of sunlight left, so I am going to get a tiny head start on the roof here. Okay, I feel like that already looks way better too. So let's just run along with our stairs here and add them all the way along the edges. And of course, down the other side as well. And to be honest, getting this done now instead of tomorrow makes tomorrow way easier because we just have to fill in the outline. Now, ideally, I'd love to get this whole roof finished before the sun goes down, but honestly, who even knows at this point? We did, however, get the outline sorted yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty confident that we'll be just fine. And also, can we just talk about how this roof looks for a second? I feel like the classic barn look you'd picture has like the big red walls, a dark roof, and a crisp white trim. But here on M, we like to shake things up a little and we flip the whole thing. So we've got the white walls, we've got a dark trim, and a bold red roof. And no, I'm not about to go into the whole redwood story again. Just know that once upon a time, I asked for redwood and Minecraft delivered. That's the important part. So we don't have too much to do for the actual exterior of the barn structure, so let's just get this done quickly, starting with this little chimney thing. Alright, leaves are done. Let's just add in a little bit of dirt path action right here. Maybe a little bit up here too. And let's add in some hay bales just for extra decorations. And obviously some water so that they have something to drink. That looks so adorable. And also, so does the barn, although it is pretty dark and you can't really see it. I do still need to do the barn interiors, but I also need to go out and get some more materials. And Millie, please do not tell me you're stuck in the glass. I think she's stuck in one of these again. Of course. How does she manage to do that every time? Anyways, I need to head out for some more materials tomorrow. Let's do it. I topped off my mangrove wood, oak leaves, spruce, and filled some more water buckets. When that was done, I headed underground for coal, iron, and diamonds for repairs. Okay, so half the barn in here is going to be for cows and the other half is for chickens. But all of it has to be cute or else I will lose my marbles. So let's get this bread. Get it? Bread? Because, baking? I'll see myself out, guys. So to split this room up, let's start by marking out these pieces with some spruce. Or these areas with some spruce, sorry. And then let's bring these up too, and then we'll do, I think we'll do a fence either side right here like this, and then a fence gate in between, but have this also as fence gates. Just like that. And let's also make sure this spruce is stripped so it matches everything else. Then along here, we're just going to go with normal old fences, and then we're going to build up with some spruce palisades. Then between the spruce palisades, we're going to go for a fence gate, and then a fence in the middle, which should add a little bit of interest to the top of the area here. Then actually, I'm going to build all the way back up here because I want to add a little bit of a topper to this with our spruce trapdoors. And the last thing we need to do for this is add in our lanterns. And of course, cover this thing in leaves. And now with both sides done, we are probably good to head out for some animals. But the sun is going down, so let's head to bed first, and then we'll go do that tomorrow. Okay, so we need to get cows and we need to get chickens. And I'm not gonna lie, the cow seems like the easier of the two right now because I have no idea where that chicken I got earlier is. So let's do those first. All right, so I'm gonna make my way over to behind the barn and see if that cow that was there a few days ago, or quite a few days ago now, is still hanging around. What is that? Oh, it's the cow. Okay, that is so lucky. Oh my gosh, it's such a cute cow too. Come with me. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with leading Minecraft animals with food, and if you ask me how I'm feeling about it today, so far, it's fine. This is actually quite a nice experience because it was right by our build and ready to come into the barn. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. 2 cows, that's all we need. I'm really hoping that those other chickens are still nearby too. Oh, okay, I guess you can be a cow too. You can be whatever you want. What was I saying about the chickens? Oh yeah, I hope they're still nearby because obviously Millie has been out and about since and they may have fallen victim to her stomach. What's going on here? Stop kissing. Get in here. All right, well, I guess we'll put this guy in his little pen first. To be honest, they don't really need to be in their own little pens. I do feel a little bit bad about this. They could be out here just sort of wandering around. However, the chickens, probably not because Millie will probably get to them. I'm sorry about this. Maybe now the cow? Oh no, I think I've scared the cow off. Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare, guys. I'm so sorry about hitting your friend. I just need you both to get through the door. All right, good. Okay, I'm glad you could figure it out. Whew. Okay, cows are complete plus a bonus sheep. Well, the sun is actually about to go down, so I probably am not going to go back into the woods searching for chickens, but I am going to have a quick look around the side of the house to see if the other chickens are still there. And the answer to that is no. Good to know. Let's head to bed again. So my thoughts are that we can technically get away with only getting 2 chickens, and then maybe we could breed one. Oh, there's one. Oh, maybe this egg will give us a chicken too. Okay, we've got the chicken in. Let's close that and let's hope we get another chicken. Oh, no, no, oh, that could be a problem. That looks like it could probably get out if it really wanted to. We'll just go out and get more chickens. It's fine. I won't do that to you again. All right, back on the search for chickens. I feel like because there was one over this way, it may be a good idea to check for more because I feel like they're very rarely just like one of them laying around, right? I see some legs over here. Oh, there's a chicken. What legs did I just see? Oh, it was the sheep. Okay. So we'll take this guy back, breed him with the other guy or girl, because that's how that works. And we'll get another chicken. Oh, this guy just popped out another egg. So I guess we can hope again that another chicken spawns, but again, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. Let's get this guy in here. Lovely. Let's give you some seeds. Let's give you some seeds. And let's see a nice baby chicken. And with that, I think it's time to head out on another mining adventure. Mostly because I do need some more materials. I set out on a quest for apple saplings before severely depleting the skeleton population in the name of bone meal. Then I picked up more spruce wood, clay, which I used to make a pot, stone, iron, and coal before calling it a day. Alright, we're back, and I really want a well close to both the bakery and the animals and the farms and whatnot, so today we are gonna build just that. And don't worry guys, I'm not gonna go too crazy. Imagine I just cut there and then it cut back to some crazy, insane, huge well build. I always think that that's such a funny bit in the Minecraft builder community, but I have yet to do it, I think, and I should probably. But not this time. I am now building a very respectable, humble, I'm looking for another word, but a small well. Okay, something actually feels a little bit off here, but I don't know if it's just because I had that post in the middle or if I've actually done something wrong. Oh, okay. Completely forgot to add in these. That is why it looks a little bit strange. Now let's of course add in a couple bits of leaf. And then let's add in our chain and our flower pot for the bucket. And finally, we need to actually add our water, and our well is finished. How adorable is that? And definitely not something crazy. Now, I forgot about this while I was doing like the strawberry patches and stuff, but a lot of the recipes actually do require apples. So I'm gonna get a few trees planted so that we have a nearby supply of apples. And the trees should look really adorable around our little farm area. So let's get this done. And with the saplings planted, I have the lovely task of bone mealing them all. That was a concerning amount of bone meal. Hopefully these ones don't take as much. Oh my gosh, these trees are huge. Okay, wait, that might be too much. I didn't really intend for them to grow that big because usually they kind of grow in around this size and then sometimes spawn like this. Oh my gosh, another one. Oh my, okay. What are these? Super apple trees or something? Okay, I'm gonna leave them for now, but I might have to break them down again and try again. Oh my gosh, they're all massive. Please be a normal size. No, what is going on? See, that's the size I was hoping for, just normal oak tree size. That is insane. Okay, well those two worked out. All right, this definitely looks a little bit crazy, but I don't... Hey, did a leaf just disappear? Anyways, as I was saying, it does look a little bit crazy, but I don't hate it. And I might still go back in and get rid of a bunch of these, but for now, it's gonna stay like that. I set out to top off all of my wood, specifically spruce and oak. I made sure to pick up some oak leaves, and then went to collect more hay from the farm. I then headed back underground for gravel, dirt, iron, coal, and the occasional diamond. So I'm gonna take a little time today and get us a wall around the farm so that things aren't coming in here and messing everything up. Although we have been pretty lucky with this build. But because we are situated within this roofed forest, I think it's probably for the best. And of course, stuff can still spawn within the walls, but as long as we get it lit up later on, it should be absolutely fine. And also, I think I said wall just a minute ago, and what I meant was fences, obviously. Alright, all of our fencing is placed, very secure, very nice, hopefully, but I am going to add in some leaves because of course I just cannot resist, which this may end up defeating the purpose slightly because I feel like things could potentially climb over, but at the end of the day, this is more aesthetic than function, to be honest. I know I said about the whole mob thing, but it was just really to enclose the farm. This is how we're looking so far, and it is absolutely adorable if I do say so myself. We are still missing, of course, some pathways and some lighting and details and whatnot, but in general, that is most of the build's done, so that means it's time to do some baking. Finally. So I've just looked through our recipe book and I've noted that we need dough 5 times, sweet dough 7 times, and yeast also 5 times. So I think it's going to be smart to get those things out of the way first, and then we can do all of the extras. So let's head over to the farm, collect some milk, and hopefully some eggs. Let's just grab 1. No, don't tell me that these don't give milk. But we do have this cow, which of course does give us milk. Okay, I can't believe those two were a complete waste of time. Anyways, let's go in here. Let's see if there are any eggs laying around. There are not, but we do have some eggs that I've been collecting right here. Oh, one of them just popped an egg out, it sounded like. That should be more than enough eggs for anything we need to make. Get that cow out of the... Okay, well, I can't let you do that. I am so sorry. I need wheat. To be fair, I do need wheat to make my doughs, so I am just going to grab a bunch of this. I was going to let you roam free, but you have ruined your chances there by escaping, so please get back in this little hole. I'll come out this way. And thank you for your service. We're going to need some sugar next to make the yeast and also the sweet dough and normal dough. Let me just grab all of these top pieces. Now, I don't know if I can make multiple batches at once, and given how buggy this was earlier, I don't want to risk putting all of my ingredients in and nothing coming out. Okay. Now, the only difference with the sweet dough recipe is that it uses a water bucket instead of a milk bucket. So this should give us a different kind of dough now. Perfect. And now we need to make 7 of those. And this should be lucky number 7. Perfect. Now we need to make some yeast. And apparently we have some glowberry jam ready here. So that's cute. Let's add in our bowl. And then let's do sugar, water, and wheat. Okay, so that should be working. What is going on? Oh, wait, that was the wrong kind of cooking pot. So let's put our bowls back into this one, and then we'll do the sugar, the water, and the wheat, and then... Okay, so turns out I once again got the pot wrong, and I meant to use this one. There we go. So now our yeast is being made, and then we can probably get started on the rest of our recipes once this is done. So now we can go back out and grab ourselves some apples. So I don't know how many we need, but we'll just take all that are right here, easy to grab. And we can go ahead and put on some apple jam to cook. Not the most sanitary way to run a bakery, I know, just jumping over all the counters, but it is the easier way. Oh! I need to go get some jam jars. All right, jam jars acquired. Let's put in our jars in the correct spot. Let's put in our apples and our sugar, and that should be making some lovely jam. Then whilst the jam's cooking, we can probably get started on our first recipe, which is combining dough, sweet dough, and sugar. So it seems I've made a mistake here, and I've been making the cake dough with the mixing bowl, which I actually don't need for any of these recipes. I need normal dough, which means we need to make some more different dough. Let's head back out to the farm. But also the apple jam is finished, so that is super cute, and we're going to use that in a recipe later. So for the normal dough, we're going to need the sugar, the wheat, and the water bucket, but also yeast, which means we're also going to have to make some more yeast because we do need yeast separately for other recipes. Oh my gosh, don't do this to me now. Why is it doing the infinite spin again? I right-clicked it with my bread, and for some reason, that fixed it. But wait, now I can't pick it up. Give me the dough! What's going on? Maybe I just need to break it? That doesn't seem correct. Alright, we've got the dough sorted. I don't know why it's so buggy sometimes, but let's get this braided bread sorted. So we're gonna go sugar, we're gonna go sweet dough, and we're gonna go normal dough. And we need something here. Okay, I think the answer is coal. So let's go sweet dough, normal dough, sugar, and then coal in this space. Wait, why is that working now without the coal? Okay, I don't know what was wrong, but it's working now and I'm not complaining. Let's get ourselves some braided bread. Perfect. And if I remember correctly, you can place these in the bread bin. That is adorable. And also on the shelves right here. Oh my god, that is great. So that's our braided bread. What is next on our list? Stuffed cornet. Okay, so we've got the apple jam, we've got the sweet dough, and we've got the sugar. Should be easy. Oh my gosh, okay, that is also really cute. I wonder if we can put that on the shelves too. Oh, no, I think it's just bread for those. Oh my gosh, you can. Oh, that's so cute. I am gonna leave some space though, because we do have a lot more to get. Millie, are you stuck? You look pretty stuck right there. All right, Millie is freed. What is next? Toast. Okay, easy. We're going sugar, we're going dough, and we're going milk bucket. And there is our toast. So I'm pretty sure that surely goes on here. Okay, that is also really, really cute. Everything is just cute right now, guys. Okay, next up is a glowberry tart. So we're gonna go and get some glowberries from our glowberry farm, but we already have the sugar and the sweet dough sorted, so this should be pretty easy, and I am going the wrong way. Glowberries. Ow, ow, ow. Yep, I forgot that they hurt. I guess I can stand here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to use my shears so that didn't happen. Wait, are they getting sucked up by the berries? I think they are. Oh wait, no, I got them. Ow. Okay. Just get rid of those. I really did not think this farm through. Goodness. All right, glowberry. Then we're going sweet dough and sugar, and then we should get a glowberry tart. It looks like we do need coal for this, so I'm just gonna leave that in there. And perfect. Okay, right click to pick it up, right click with a knife to cut it, and right shift click to eat. Now we are pretty much out of counter space, but I'm wondering if we can put the tart inside of this. So that would be really nice. Love that. Oh, this is going to be so adorable once we've cooked everything. Next up, we're going for crusty bread. So we're going to have dough, yeast, and a water bucket. Easy, easy. Can I not put the yeast in here? What do you mean I can't put the yeast in here? Okay, so because I have Farmer's Delight and the bakery mod and a bunch of other mods, I made the wrong yeast. So I have to now go on the search for some brown mushrooms, which should be okay, right? Because this is like a mushroom forest. There should be some laying around. And then we're going to make the proper yeast that we need to make our crusty bread. Oh, okay, there's one right here. Perfect. So I think if I just mine this will give us nothing. But if I mine these, it should drop us some brown mushrooms. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to put the mushrooms together with some sugar and some water, and then that will give us the yeast that we need. Oh, and it turns out we actually didn't need that many mushrooms after all. But now we can go ahead and add our yeast to this, and we'll get our crusty bread. Okay, I don't know if this is going to go on these shelves. Oh, okay, it does. Ah, adorable. Kind of don't like that one there. Let's put that up on that shelf. And our next recipe is a chocolate tart, which I think we're going to have to skip because I do not have anything like cocoa beans. But next up is the croissant, which we need the sweet dough, the yeast, and the sugar for. So let's get that done. We got the sweet dough, we've got the yeast, and we got the sugar. And just like that, we have some tasty croissants. But it doesn't look like we can put them on here, so I'm going to see if it'll go in this one. Ah! Of course it does. Okay, that is sweet. All right, now we're just gonna make a simple bun, dough, yeast, water bucket. Stunning, amazing. Wait, what? That's crusty bread. Okay, I just double checked and it looks like Mars recipe is wrong. So we're gonna need dough, and we're gonna need the yeast, and we're gonna need not a water bucket, but an egg. So let's grab an egg from right here. And this should make us a bun and not more crusty bread. Perfect. So let's see if the bun will go on these shelves, and oh my goodness, it does. That is so, I'm gonna say it again, cute. Oh, Millie just hurt herself. Now for the apple pie, we're going for an apple, we're going for the sweet dough and the sugar. Perfect. And I think we're done with the mixing bowl, so we can get rid of that. Maybe we can move this tray out of the way. I wonder if you can put bread in that. Oh my gosh, adorable. I can't get over this. I'm just going to test this out though, so I'm going to grab a bun, and can we put that in the tray? Oh my gosh, we can. Incredible. So I think we are on our last page of recipe, which is just a simple baguette. So we're going to go sweet dough, dough, and yeast. So let's grab our sugar, I believe, water, that, and an egg. And that should hopefully give us the normal dough. Just like that. Was that already there? Did I just make more sweet dough? What just happened? Where did my dough go? In the meantime, I am going to add in my croissants. Croissant. Why am I saying that so strange? Anyways, I'm just going to fill up the rest of this with those. Perfect. Oh, I think I did make more sweet dough. So we need the yeast, the sugar, the water, and the wheat. That should get us our normal dough. Sweet dough, yeast. Easy peasy. And there we have it, our final recipe from Mars recipe book. So will that go on the shelf? Yes, it will. Oh, we should probably clean up our crafting bowl too. And that is all of our baking finish, and the bakery looks so adorable right now. And it is nighttime, so let's get ourselves to bed. Since we didn't have too much time left, I kept everything really simple. The paths were just dirt with some spruce details. And then I kept the lighting super simple, and also just a few barrels and hay bales for the final details. And just like that, our 100 days as a baker is complete. As the sweet scent of baked goods floated over the farm, I knew that we had successfully become a Minecraft baker in 100 days. My name is Em, this is Millie, and you have all been amazing. Thank you so much for watching, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you all in the next one.